Fun fact, guys, a little bit of behind-the-scenes thing. I finally figured out how to get the Switch to play through just my computer. Bad side is I'm completely covered in cords right now, so if anyone breaks in to kill me, I'm screwed. Hi everyone, Dance Macabre here. Welcome back to another video of Doki Doki Plus. Let's go ahead and get this started, shall we? Great, the game's already broken. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but just kind of works because you've known each other for so long. We walked to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that, but I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Man, this MC is a slut. He just wants the girls. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Kaylee? Monica? Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So, having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... Oh, my heart is going Doki Doki, my Kokoro. What'd you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in a debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the policies around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. That's why I killed one of my club members already. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club! Don't mind that break in the matrix! Literature? That sounds kind of... dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there's only 3 of us so far. There were 4, but that's kind of a long story. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring, especially after you kill one of them. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know? Literature could be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keep her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Kaylee, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but... In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how can I ever refuse someone like Monica? Oh, but Sayori are just all like, nah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go to your stupid club. Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome! You're really sweet, Kaylee. You know that? No, he's not. It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back! And I brought a guest with me. A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Kaylee. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls like Ogano. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Kaylee in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry, I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Well, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Kaylee? The girls have a few desks to arrange to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you don't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I'll at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Kaylee, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes up, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Like in this story. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Like this story. I read a horror book once. My friend died in it. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, I think that's different. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or it takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes stared across to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Give it back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can extend an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them out loud with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for us all to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Kaylee? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Monika's the only one that looks dejected. Yuri looks bored, Natsuki just looks pissed off. But... I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Kaylee. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4, and I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I'd feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if he really just left after all this, I would have been super pissed. Kaylee, I'm so happy. We could become an official club now. Thank you so much for this, you're really amazing. I'll do anything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment? Write in a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Kaylee, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Perhaps one of them will die. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing the poem tonight. Ooh, a special poem, let's read it. I don't like this poem. Okay. What do I want to go for first? Natsuki, I guess? Every day I imagine a future where I can be with you. Da 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 da. I just wanted to have a nice club with some girls. La 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 la, la 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 la. But now they're gonna kill me. Okay. Hi again, Kaylee. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, Jesus, fuck! Don't do that again. Oh god, Sayori's on the calendar back there. No. Thank you for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, but no, your poster is really overwhelming. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, Jesus! The game stopped. I probably sound like a fucking pussy right now. I'm sorry, I'm really jumpy right now. I have anxiety. Oh, come on, like it deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you just plan to come here to hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Monica, I can't see the text. Natsuki finds herself stuck between Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated. It's just made this room look weird now. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Kaylee. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, if you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. So, even if I don't read often, I'll be happy to pick up a book if you want me to. Are you sure? Oh god damn it, the room's spinning. Monica, stop! It just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. But how's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh, thank you, Monica, for setting the room back to normal. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off with some scheduled activities for the club. Can someone please put away that Sayori poster? But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. Oh, thank you guys for getting rid of that Sayori poster. It was kind of sad. She seems to be angered by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You look for something in there? Fucking Monica! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point of keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. Yo, read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? It means you're a fucking weeb, MC. I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst in the stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. Oh, like you're the king of good taste, MC, whatever. It could be obscure, you know. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it for the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. Yeah, you were. I didn't even say anything. Using the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing. Consider... Oh. Don't judge the book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Don't just stand there. Ugh. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't the chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't say that! You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly a bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can't talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. It's a typical slice of life affair. I kinda grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that, if you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I'd ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. Can't even bring it up without them being all like, "Eh, you still haven't grown out of that yet?" Makes me want to punch him in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's probably accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. Well... At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monika's kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Time passes. Natsuki is strangely quiet now. I glance over at her. It looks like she started to fall asleep. Hey, Natsuki. Yeah? Suddenly, Natsuki collapses straight into me. Hey. Oh god. Who broke her? Who broke the tsundere? Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? You're broken again. Here. Monika reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give... She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it into her mouth. Don't worry, Kaylee. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now? Okay, thanks for just brushing over that. Natsuki? I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. And then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember when I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind reading this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monika said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not like it's that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So, in other words, you're saying you liked it. Okay. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. Oh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you, baka? I already told you that you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. I'm pretty sure you never actually said that. I said that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that you like my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Or fine, I guess. Only because Monika will make me if I don't. Alright, well, nothing different here. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because. Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Some people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So it's decided to write about that. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that you can put more weight in the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme in the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. I guess we'll go with Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough for her to finish reading.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
So it's not bad.
No! Did I just raise my voice? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face into her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you'd be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Alright, this one's the same one too.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read it.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
Eh? That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Kaylee.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you only did glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their works. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering to our last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing really. Well, It makes me happy that you did think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
I guess I'll talk to Monica. I'm still mad at you. Hi, Kaylee. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm just better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Kaylee. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But that's sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I have Monica in my poem. I like it, Kaylee. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all of her strength and shuts down, like earlier. This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls, you know? Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? No, I don't, Monica. I don't like how you're acting right now. Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, I think this one's new. Hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings. But my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think? I think it's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other, or after they're all dead, either way. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing poems or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watched each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language?
Eh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Kaylee did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some First of all,
excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Kaylee liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it.
Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh,
I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what I... Oh, you're just...
Yuri stands up as well.
Maybe you're just jealous that Kaylee appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours.
Oh, and how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Oh, well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Kaylee started showing up.
Natsuki?
Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you.
Taking your own insecurities on others like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki.
Oh god. No, guys, no. Me? Look who's talking, you wannabe edgy bitch.
Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone of your mental age to comprehend.
See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after graduating middle school, you know.
If you want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try.
Girl, stop! Well, be careful, you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Natsuki!
Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head?
Yeah, go on. Let Kaylee hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after hearing this. Suddenly, Yuri turns toward me as if she just noticed I was standing there.
Kaylee, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. I don't like this. Natsuki, what you said is pretty messed up. Okay, fine. Please just go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Oh, hi, Monica.
Hey, Kaylee. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyways, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead.
Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Oh. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri?
I didn't mean it.
I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki. Or did.
Kaylee, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today.
It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget it all by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica.
You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer.
I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done.
Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today.
It kind of sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri.
It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Kaylee. It would just be embarrassing with you listening.
I guess I really don't have a choice, do I?
I'm sorry for causing trouble.
But Yuri, you're fucked. Oh god. I don't know what I was expecting. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me.
Welcome back, Kaylee.
Hi, Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at a desk, and surprisingly, Monica isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room.
About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before. And something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. It's not just me, but Natsuki as well.
Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You didn't have to worry too much. Even though I've only been here a couple days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way you can be a bad person. And now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it.
Kaylee, don't say those kind of things so frankly. They make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you're such an understanding person. And I'm really glad that you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around and... sorry, what am I saying right now?
Hey, have you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man. Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either? Yuri is clearly taken aback by how calmly Natsuki is addressing her.
No, I haven't.
Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said, and I'll do my best to stay under control from now on. So...
Yuri, what are you talking about? Did she do something yesterday?
Eh?
Jeez. Whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But I'll accept your apology if it helps you feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear since I was always afraid you secretly hated me or something like that.
No, not at all. I don't hate you.
Well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial, though. Hey. Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. There you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah. Well, Natsuki was. I was not. What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have at least heard the bell ring, at least. I must have not heard it since I was practicing piano.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica.
Don't give me much more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good yet.
Still, that must require a lot of dedication, so I'm still impressed.
Aw, well thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us sometime. Monica looks at me. Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Kaylee. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I chose not to bring up anything like the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki's already run into the closet.
Kaylee, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you would like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club.
I suppose so. I don't think I could say no to you after you gave that book to me. Well, I guess I need to make sure Natsuki isn't waiting for me. After we finished reading yesterday,
She's fine. She's reading over there. So it's okay, right?
In that case, I don't see any problem.
Okay. Can we start now? Let's find a place to sit. I'm being a little too forceful, aren't I? I'm sorry. My heart just won't stop pounding for some reason.
Don't worry about it. If anything, it's nice to see you have so much energy.
Yeah, but I need to try to calm down. I won't be able to focus on reading like this.
Take your time. Yuri takes a deep breath, then pulls a copy of the book out of her bag. What's the story about anyway?
Well,
I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri makes it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Kaylee?
No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that this kind of story, it kind of challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I am rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts,
oh. What did she say? Doesn't even say. I just saw something about her body.
So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I could do is listen. It's a literature club, after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading, right?
Yes! I mean, you don't have to, but...
What were you saying?
Let me just go get the book.
I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just bathing in the comfort of...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here. This should work, right? I slam my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand and hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same thing with my right arm on the right side of the page. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're held even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready? To turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking of the way she second guesses things she says and all that.
That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. We didn't even get to that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Kaylee? Did something happen just now? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything? Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? No, not really. I was just making sure you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just says this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'd just get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. I guess we'll go to Natsuki first. Well, it's not terrible, but it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this was as good as your last one, I would be completely pissed. Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different this time. Fair enough, you're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. I mean, everyone in the club writes really different from each other. Maybe you'll just find a little influence from all of us. For instance, I noticed that you were spending more time with Yuri today. Not that I care who you spend your time with or anything. After all, I was taught never to expect anything from anybody. So it's not like I was waiting for you or anything. Still, you should at least look over my poem. You'll probably be able to learn something from it. Yep, nothing new. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Anyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they'll make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes, as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Such as two of the girls in this very club who I respectfully won't name. Kind of ironic that even in my one place of comfort, I can't even have people respect me. Jeez, now you're making me complain too much. What did I do? For what it's worth, I respect you. Well, I guess thanks. But it's kind of obvious that you respect Yuri more, so... Whatever, we're done talking, so you can leave now. Sorry. Who should I poem to next? I guess Monica. That's the only option. Hi again, Kaylee. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright, great job, Kaylee. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's... oh. Whatever. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing, though. But sometimes I get the impression that she's just not totally given up on people. She spent so much time in her own head, like it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think she gets too stimulated. She ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I could get my poem now. But anyways, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Save me. The colors, they won't. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, and this cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, with their screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a knife on a breathing rib cage. Let's delete her. Oh. Sorry, I know it's kind of abstract. I'm just trying to, well, never mind. There's no point in me explaining. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when, who am I talking to? Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me. Anything. Please help me. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I don't like what's going on. I guess let's go to Yuri.
I've been waiting for this. Let's see what you've written for today.
Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it?
Kaylee, how'd you pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of technique worth practicing.
Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really want to try giving more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty.
That makes me so happy. It's so amazing to feel like I'm valued, Kaylee. Everything that you write is a treasure to me. My heart pounds just holding it. I want to write a poem about this feeling. Is that bad, Kaylee? I'm not being weird, right? I'm having a harder time than usual at concealing my emotions. I'm kind of embarrassed, but right now, I just want you to read my poem too. Okay?
A rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding bolthead, linear gearbox, falling sky, 7 whole stakes, a docked ship, a portal to another world, a thin rope tied to a thick rope, a torn harness, parabolic gearbox, expanding universe, time controlled by skipping cogwheels, existence of God, swimming with open waters in all directions, drowning, a prayer written in blood, a prayer written in time, drowning snakes with human eyes, a thread connecting all living human eyes, a kaleidoscope of holy stakes, exponential gearbox, a sky of exploding stars, God disposing the existence of God, a wheel rotating in 6 dimensions, 40 gears and a ticking clock, a clock that ticks 1 second for every rotation of the planet, a clock that ticks 40 times every time it ticks every second time, a bolthead of holy stakes tied to the existence of a docked ship to another world, a kaleidoscope of blood written in clocks, a time-drowning prayer connecting a sky of 40 gears and open human eyes in all directions, breathing gearbox, breathing bolthead, breathing ship, breathing portal, breathing snakes, breathing God, breathing blood, breathing holy stakes, breathing human eyes, breathing time, breathing prayer, breathing sky, breathing wheel. What kind of shit were you smoking, Yuri? And you really need to get some clean pieces of paper. This one kind of has a stain on it.
It doesn't really matter what it's about. My mind has always been a little hyperactive lately, so I had to take it out on your pen. That is, a pen fell out of your backpack yesterday, so I took it home for safekeeping, and I just really like the way that it writes. So I wrote this poem with it, and now you're touching it. I am okay. What did I just... Can't we pretend this conversation never happened? You can keep the poem, though.
I don't wanna, but sure. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? We have something we need to go over today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we could put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members.
That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations.
Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Look, I know everyone's being a little more lively ever since Kaylee joined, and we've started with some club activities, but this isn't the time for us to become complacent. We only have 4 members, and the festival is our only real chance of finding more, you know? What's so great about getting new members anyway? We already have enough to be considered an official club. More members will just mean everything gets noisier and more difficult to manage. Natsuki, I don't think you're looking at the right way at all. Don't you want to share your passion with as many people as you can? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? The literature club should be a place where people can express themselves like they can't do anywhere else. It should be a place so intimate you never want to leave. I thought you'd feel like that. I know you feel that way too. I know we all do. So that's why you should work hard and put something together for the festival, even if it's something small. Right, Kaylee? Oh, come on. You can't take advantage of Kaylee to agree with you just because he doesn't know how to say no to anything. Look, Monica, do you really think any of us here join the club with other people in mind? Yuri never even talked until Kaylee joined. As for me, I just like it better here than I do at home. And Kaylee isn't even passionate about literature in the first place. And that's everyone. Sorry, but you're really the only one who's so interested in finding new members. The rest of us are fine like this. I know you're president and all, but you should really consider our opinions for once. Monica is clearly taken aback by Natsuki's words. That's not true at all. I'm sure Yuri and Kaylee want to get more members too. Right? I don't know about Yuri, but I'm kind of indifferent. If I showed as much enthusiasm as Monica wanted, then I'd probably be lying. Still, if it's up for me to rescue the situation... no. Natsuki's right, isn't she? This club... It's nothing more than a place for a few people to hang out. Why did I think that everyone here saw the same way as I did? But that doesn't mean that we're against getting new members or anything. Kaylee, why did you even join the club? What were you hoping to get out of it? Well, that's not really something I can be honest about, is it? In fact, if I remember, you weren't even given a choice not to join. Monica sits down and stares at her desk. What's the point of all this anyway? What if starting this club was a mistake? Now you've done it, Natsuki. Me? I just spoke my mind. Is it a crime to be honest? It's not about being honest. It's about word choice. Besides, you have no right to speak for everyone else in the club like that. You don't understand at all. I just want a place that feels nice to hang out with a few friends. Is there a problem with the club being that for me? There aren't many other places like that for me. And now Monica wants to take it away from me. She's not taking anything away. No, Kaylee. It's not the same. It won't be the same with the direction she wants to take it. If I wanted that, then I could have just joined any other stupid club. But this one, I mean, at least for a little bit, things were fine. Natsuki started packing up her things. I'm going home. Feel like I don't belong here right now. Natsuki. Natsuki ignores Yuri and walks right out of the classroom. This is bad. I don't know what to do. Well, do you have an opinion on the festival? I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, I guess. Who cares about that obnoxious brat? I mean, I like how nice and quiet the club is right now. And I'm just happy with you here. But still, I'm the vice president. It's not right for me to ignore my responsibilities like that. Nobody would cry if she killed herself. Don't stab your eye. I should do my best to consider everyone's perspective and make the decision that's right for the club. But what about you, Kaylee? What do you want to get out of this club? Yuri repeats the same question as Monica. I decide giving an indirect answer is better than nothing. I think the most important thing is for everyone to get along. And for this club to provide something that you can't get anywhere else. I don't think it's about how many members, but rather the quality of each member. That's what will end up getting the literature club a special place. I see. I really agree with you. Each member can contribute their own qualities in a special way. With each change in members, the identity of the club as a whole will change too. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Stepping out of your comfort zone once in a while. Oh god. Yuri, you have something with your eye. I would get that checked out. So if you would like to help Monica with the festival, then I'm on your side as... Oh god, it's still dripping. Yuri, you should go to a doctor. Alright. Well, maybe we could talk about it with Natsuki tomorrow. Yuri nods. Hey Yuri. Eh? I know things were a little awkward yesterday, but I feel like you deserve to know that I still think you're a wonderful vice president, and also a wonderful friend.
Monica.
I want to do everything I can to make this the best club ever. Okay?
Me too.
Yeah. Let's all go home for today. We'll talk about the festival tomorrow.
Okay. I look forward to it. Shall we go, Kaylee?
Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna chat a little bit with Kaylee before we leave. Just to see what he thinks of the time here and all. It's important to me as president. Yuri looks a little troubled, but she doesn't protest.
Okay. I trust your judgment, Monica. In that case, I'll see the two of you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Monica waves as Yuri exits the classroom. Phew. Things have been a bit hectic lately, haven't they? Kaylee, Hello.
Kaylee, I just wanted to make sure you're enjoying your time at this club. I would really hate to see you unhappy. I feel kind of like I'm responsible for that as president. And I really do care about you, you know? I don't like seeing the other girls give you a hard time with how mean Natsuki is and everything. And Yuri being a little, you know. Sometimes it feels like you and I are the only real people here. You know what I mean? But it's weird because in all the time we've been here, we've hardly gotten to spend any time together. I mean, I guess it's technically only been a couple days. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything weird. There's just some things I've been hoping to talk about with you. Things I only know you could understand. Wait, not yet. No, stop. I don't like this game anymore. Alright, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and end it for today. If you liked today's episode, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you want to see the next one. Because we're not gonna end it here. Until next time, this is Dance Macabre, signing off.